Hi and welcome back to IATEFL Online in Glasgow. I'm here with Carol Reid. Hi Carol, how are you today?
Hi Ria, I'm really well. It's really wonderful to be back in Glasgow. We were here in 2012 and actually 2012 was quite a landmark for me. It's when I became Vice President of IATEFL, and so this year for me it's the first year being at a conference for some time when I haven't had an organisational role. So I'm really set to enjoy every aspect of the conference this year.
So can you tell us a bit about what you're doing this year? I think you're doing a few sessions, right?
Yeah, well this morning I've been at the Young Learner and Teenager Special Interest Group, and the day is on values education, and I did the opening plenary on values education, and I think it's a really timely topic given the state of the world today, and really important for us to include values education as part of the work that we do with children. After all, children are our future.
Sure. Can you maybe explain to the viewers who might not know what you mean? What do you mean exactly by values education?
Well, values education, that's a very good question, and that was one of the issues that I was addressing in my plenary, actually unpacking what values are, because of course they are quite a complex mixture of cognitive aspects, affective dimension, there's a behavioural dimension as well, and so we were looking at many different definitions of values and seeing how complex it is. And we were also looking, because it is a bit of a Pandora's box, some of the kind of controversial issues such as whose values are we teaching, what values are they, are we imposing values on children, or are we using a model of influence which encourages them to choose values? And then there are all kinds of other areas like the difference between children getting an awareness of values and positive attitudes towards particular values, but actually the gap between having that and putting it into practice in their daily lives. For example, a child may understand the value of fairness and justice, but actually in the playground, are they acting in a way that is commensurate with that? So we were looking at that area, and then I was also suggesting all kinds of practical activities and ideas to help teachers work with values education and to really have a holistic view towards what they're doing with children, that we're never just language teachers with children, we're educators and looking after all aspects of their development.
Sounds like a very interesting topic and really relevant for our viewers.
I think it was, and I've also found quite interesting in the preparation how it overlaps with the session that I'm doing on Wednesday in the main conference, because in that I'm doing a session on teaching life skills to children, and very often people say, well actually, why are life skills important for children? They're not going to need that until later on, until they leave school, but of course it's really important to start when they're very young, building up the kind of life skills, which is an umbrella term covering various different thinking skills, personal skills and social skills that they're going to need in their lives.
What do you think are the most kind of important life skills? I'm sure you're going to talk about this in the workshop, but
no, it's a perfect question, and thank you for asking. And I think what I am going to share with people is that organisations like the World Health Organization, UNICEF and UNESCO, they've identified what they call 10 core life skills, which include thinking skills such as critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving and decision making, and then social skills such as communication and personal skills such as empathy and relating to people and being able to resolve conflict. And then we're looking, what I'm going to do is look at how we can use everyday classroom activities such as stories or a topic that we're doing to encompass life skills training as well as just language. And I'm also going to share a model of life skills, which is not my model, but which is one that I found very useful to adapt when teaching children, and which allows us as practitioners to keep an eye on the life skills that we're addressing in our classes.
Great. And what kind of age range of children are we talking about? I'm
talking about primary, essentially. So let's say the kind of approximate range, 6 to 12. And the other thing I'm going to be mentioning in my talk, because the British Council publication on the Sustainable Development Goals and Creativity, I actually have a chapter coming out in that book called Developing Children's Understanding of the Global Goals. And so I'm going to be actually mentioning how that topic equips children with both an awareness of the kind of problems and issues that we face in our world today, as well as a language to be able to talk about them. And I think one of the things that I find working with children, they never cease to surprise me.
Of course.
How often we underestimate what children are capable of. And some of the activities that we do with the global goals, getting children to, for example, see the connections between things like poverty, education, clean water and sanitation, employability. And when you do that with even children as young as 10, 11, although these materials would be for 10 to 14, I'm surprised, how often children approach what are very sophisticated and difficult topics, but with a freshness of thinking and imagination that is surprising.
Which you don't often get from adults or from youth.
Exactly, because maybe the topics have become a bit worn.
Definitely.
They know about it, they've been there before, they've talked about these issues. And I think it's something that can really help us enrich our language curriculums.
It sounds really interesting. Just remind us, when is your workshop on Wednesday?
My workshop is after lunch.
Great.
First workshop after lunch on Wednesday.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Carol.
It's lovely to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, and tune in later for more interviews on IATEFL Online.